What's up, y'all? It's Truth Tiger, and today I'm going to talk about finding your life purpose in society and in life, and especially in the modern world. A lot of people are completely disconnected from what their life purpose is. People's life purpose tends to come down to or I should say, people with a lack of life purpose tend to fill that void with, materialism, carnal things, carnal pleasure. I'm just going to make money. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it's like it's not for any kind of a higher purpose, They're not doing anything that's bigger than themselves at all. And most of what they do is self-aggrandizement, it's egotistical, and it's also to please society. They need to please the Matrix. They need to please the great beast of society, and they live very weird, plastic, robot lives in pursuit of pleasing society, pleasing the Matrix, pleasing their lust for money and their greed, pleasing their own self-righteousness and their own delusions, pleasing their egotistical need to judge other people and to look down at other people and to point the finger at other people, pleasing their egotistical need to go around and act like they're such a big victim and, I'm a victim, whatever it is, People have all this other stuff that they do instead of actually finding and fulfilling their life purpose, We all have a purpose from God. Or even if you don't believe in God, there is a higher purpose for our life. Whatever you believe or do not believe, there is a higher purpose for us. I personally believe in God, and I'd recommend it for most people, for everybody, I would recommend it, but, I'm not going to stress too much on that, but, that is where ultimately your purpose is going to come from. Like, our Creator created us to have a goal in our life. Our Creator put us on this earth to do something with our life. We're not just here to sort of sputter around, We're not just here eating and breathing and sleeping. We're not, We have something that we need to do. And, our purpose, it's within us, and it's also outside of us too, because a big part of our life purpose is to make character improvements, and there are certain demons and obstacles, or however you want to think of it. There are certain obstacles that are put in front of us that we need to overcome and get over and get past, and that's a big part of our life is, can we overcome our circumstances? Can we overcome all this BS? Can we overcome our deep, dark inner demons? That's a big part of life, internally, and just building up our character. And most people don't do that. Most people don't care to do that. They want to just lock that stuff away deep down and not even have to think about it or look at it. And eventually those demons are locked behind the door, but they're just there getting stronger and stronger and bigger. And eventually they kick that door down, and now you got all these demons, and they're bigger and stronger than they've ever been, and they're running you over. And then, people end up making bad decisions, getting addictions, being narcissists, acting crazy, whatever. Like, bad results happen when those demons get out, and that's what most people do. We lock it up. We lock it in the cellar and hope it doesn't escape, Whereas you have to confront these demons. You have to confront these things. And they're not fun. They're gnarly, One of them is like some big, nasty, slimy slug, and it's so gross and slimy and disgusting, and you don't even want to touch it. And, you just want to throw some salt on it, And one of them is this big, nasty, gnarly spider, and it's so creepy and scary and weird and gross, and you don't want to deal with that, And another one's this weird, big, giant anaconda, this giant, nasty snake that's just sneaking around all weird, and you got to deal with this stuff. And it's not fun. It's not the best, but, you have to kind of kill your demons and slay your demons. And through Jesus Christ and through God, you can kill your demons. You can slay your demons, and you can move forward, and you can do better. You can do it. Like, I've had some serious big demons in front of me, and big blockages, huge doubts I've had to deal with, and I've been able to get past them, just having faith, and just like putting one foot in front of the other, and just, you keep fighting, you keep going, you don't stop, you stop to rest sometimes, but you don't give up on the battle, though. You keep on working until the job is done, and you keep on throwing punches until these demons are completely beat and beat down and done, and until whatever, you throw a bunch of salt on that slug until that slug has nothing left. You break all the legs of that spider, all 8 legs, and you poke out its 8 eyes, and you freaking just take a big rock and crush it, That snake, man, you pick up a machete and you hack the freaking crap out of it, And none of it's fun, and none of it's enjoyable, and it's scary, and it's creepy, and it's unpleasant, and it's uncomfortable, and you don't want to have to face that stuff on the inside, but you're not going to have any purpose or any mission or any goal in life if you don't face that stuff on the inside, You have to kill your demons, you do. And I mean, some people also, they just want to make friends with their demons, They want to just hang out and be friends with, I'm going to hang out and with the slug, and we're just going to sit and play video games and be lazy, and we're not going to shower, and we're not going to try, and we're just going to be depressed, and we're going to be down, and, we're just going to we're just going to give up, and we're not even going to care, and, whatever, And then we're going to go with the creepy spider, and it's smoking 4 cigarettes at once with all its 8 legs, and it's got 8 eyes, and it's watching everybody, and it doesn't have any life purpose or mission, or just going around all creepy and weird and suspicious, and it's all insecure and self-hating. You're gonna hang out with that little spider and be like, yeah, we're just weird creeps, and we're just gonna creep around and crawl around and be weird and be be off-putting and stuff, and be strange, and be something that people don't like, and just do that. And, a lot of people will just do that. And then they'll go to the snake and they'll be all right. I'm going to be underhanded. I'm going to be manipulative. I'm going to be conniving. I'm going to act all weak and pathetic and then give someone a venomous bite, I'm going to just be like that snake, and I'm going to act like I'm smarter than everybody and I got everything figured out, even though I don't, And a lot of people will just befriend those demons and let those demons rule over them is what's going to happen. Those demons just take them over, and, they manifest those results in their life. And I've had to fight against these demons, and there's a lot of other demons too, but, it's just an example. But I've had to fight against these demons, and sometimes I've won, sometimes I've lost, but, you have to keep fighting. You have to get up every day and pick up your sword, and you have to fight, you do, and you have to have your tools and your weapons, For that slug, I'm throwing bleach on that slug, I'm throwing salt on that slug, I'm throwing baking soda on that slug, whatever, For that spider, I've got a big old axe, and I'm hacking its legs off, and I'm just going boom, 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 boom. And then, for the snake, I've got a machete, and I'm just wow, and I'm cutting all these things up every day, and it's not fun. And sometimes I get bit, and sometimes I get whatever, sometimes they get me, but I escape, I get out, and I just keep fighting. And I keep fighting. And I know that, I see these things starting to be defeated. And, I fight it in narcissists, and I fight it in external people too that also manifest this stuff and come to attack me, I talk about that a lot in other videos, but, and this is maybe a good segue, but when you try to be about your purpose, the Matrix and society and everybody around you, they don't want that, They don't want you to be about your purpose, They don't want you to be about your business. They're not into that, It's not what they want. They get jealous, they get weird, and ultimately they are, they are a part of the Matrix. And they are, ruled by devils and demons, and they are ruled by evil, And when they see you doing good, and when they see you actually reaching for something and doing something, they try to sabotage you. They freak out, because they are filled with lies. And when they see someone who is filled with the truth, they get really, really mad, And also, it's like, when you start to find your life purpose, that bucks the status quo. The status quo of the world and of society is for people to just, they go to some job they don't like, they have some family that they totally don't care about, they're just going through the motions and going through the motions, and they're on their phone and they're unhappy and they're not having fun and they're not enjoying anything, and they're just warehoused, you know? They're just like animals in a feedlot, you know? They're just like a pig or a cow or a chicken in a feedlot. They're just going through life like that. And then when they see you outside, you're in the wild and you're running around with some deer and stuff and you're having a fun time, they're like, oh, well, screw him. He needs to come back on the farm. He needs to go back in the feedlot. We're going to drag him back in. You know, how dare he be out in the wild, you know? How dare he, you know? But I'm like a wild bull out there in the wild with my big old horns running around and having a good time. And they're all there jealous and angry and trying to, you know, pull me back into that farm with them and trying to pull me back into the matrix and back into society, you know? And I'm saying no. I'm going to run with the deer. I'm going to have a good time. There's all kind of good grass out here. There's all kind of good stuff for me to eat and whatever. And, you know, if any wolves or bears try to mess with me, I'm a 2,000-pound bull with huge horns, so they're going to think twice, you know? And I'm having a good time out here, you know? And they don't want that. You know, they really want you to feel isolated. And, you know, they also want you to have, like, a low self-confidence and a low... They want you to, like, have, like, and this is what the Matrix does to people mentally. It's like you have no conception of anything outside of the Matrix. If you're some cow and you're on a feedlot and you live your whole life in this little stall and maybe you get to wander around a little bit here and there, that's all you will have a conception of. So when some bird flies by and is telling you there's waterfalls and mountains and there's a desert with cactuses and there's all these crazy animals and all these crazy different things, and, you know, and there's tropical islands and all this stuff, you're going to tell that bird, no, there's this feedlot, there's this farm, and that's it. There's no world outside of this, you know? And it's what it is, you know? And then, you know, then they'll get mad at the bird and say, hey, F you, bird, how dare you talk about that? And the bird's just going to fly away and be like, all right, whatever, this is not a good vibe in here, you know, and it's going to keep on rolling. But yeah, like, the Matrix will really just get you like that, where you're just so warehoused and so conditioned and so just, you know, moving through life like a robot, and you've only seen certain things and you're only aware of certain things, so things outside of that you don't even know. You don't even know there's a whole world outside of that. You know, you have no mental reference or mental framing point, you know, of that. So again, people just get stuck in their own mind and stuck in their own heads. And, you know, I've been trapped in my own head before, and I still feel trapped in my own head a lot of the times. And I'll be outside walking and stuff, and I won't want to talk to people, or people won't want to talk to me, and I'm having to force myself to be more friendly, and it's like I got this big lump in my throat, and I'm just like, you know, every day gets better, and you can see in my videos that it gets better, but just like, there's just this inner resistance, there's just this thing inside me really holding me back, you know, and I see it in other people too, and it's like, I'm going to be the one who fights against it, you know, and I'm going to win. I will win. I don't care. I don't care what it costs, you know. I'm going to keep fighting, and I'm going to win. Another thing that's keeping people away from their life purpose is, you know, the inner positive attributes of truth, of love, of kindness, of courage, of being, you know, clever when you need to be clever, of being decisive and passionate, and, you know, all these kinds of good inner attributes are just not developed in people at all, you know, because they decide to just be a robot and just go along with things. And then all that stuff is just completely undeveloped. And, you know, you need to develop those things to beat the demons that I talked about earlier, you know. You're not going to beat them without love and courage. You're not going to beat them without knowing the truth, you know. You're not going to have the tools to win, you know, but people are not developing these tools and these attributes that they need to develop. And, you know, people are not developing their love. You know, most people go around in a very, you know, people might say, oh, people aren't hateful. But, like, deep down, most people are in a very hateful, jealous, low kind of state in their heart. You know, they have a heart that's just not good. It's not happy. They're just very, like, you know, they live lives of doubt. You know, they're very doubtful. they don't believe in anything, they think everything isn't going to work, and they just don't have like love is like will, you know. Love really is like your will that moves you forward, you know. Love is like a fuel source, you know. It really is like a fuel source. When you have that fuel source of love, you'll power through anything, you know. But people's fuel source is hatred and negativity and fear and whatever you want to call it, but it's like they have this anti-love, this opposite of love in their heart, and it's this dark stuff, and they have this nasty, you know, kind of thing, and they get motivated and encouraged by like seeing people fail and by negativity and by bad things happening and by being a victim and throwing a pity party for themselves and by dominating another person and pushing another person down and rejecting somebody. And you know, so they get fuel from like bad negative things, and it creates bad negative results around them, and they enable a lot of bad negative people. And I have my own negativity in my heart, I'm not gonna lie, but like I fight that and I battle that and I combat that daily, and I work to grow the light of love, you know. I work to grow that love in my heart, and you know, just that mission alone of having love in my heart it's a huge purpose, you know. It gives me that huge purpose to gain the love within my heart so that I can have the fuel and I can have the energy and I can have the power to move forward, and you know, so I can be illuminated too, because if you don't have any light in your heart, you know, that light will go up to your mind and it will get your mind bright, and you will be able to now think of all these things and discover all these things and learn and gain knowledge of the truth, you know. But without a good heart, you're not going to be able to gain or to learn the knowledge of the truth. It's just not going to happen, you know. And that's another segue, is learn the knowledge of the truth, you know. Most people do not want to learn the knowledge of the truth or find the knowledge of the truth or anything like that whatsoever. People are very into carnal knowledge. So what's carnal knowledge? Carnal knowledge is just what the Matrix is telling you. So all the religions, they are teaching carnal knowledge. The education system, the schools, the universities, whatever, carnal knowledge. Most of the stuff you see people talk about is just carnal knowledge. It's politics. It's, you know, it's science, but it's the very carnal parts of science. There are some parts of science that will point to God and, you know, prove God, and will have some very amazing things, and, you know, will give you enlightenment if you learn about them. But for the most part, it's just like, I don't know, you know, it's just kind of like learning these very basic things, and it's not really giving people a sense of how the universe works or anything like that. And, you know, people are learning this very limited knowledge that's not really exposing the whole truth. And when you start to find the true knowledge, like of who God is, who Jesus Christ is, what the Bible really means, you know, what science really means, you know, how psychology actually really works, you know, what really motivates people, you know, what are the internal factors and forces that motivate people? What are the external forces that govern the entire world, you know? What is the true moral law? What is true right and wrong? What is truly ethical and unethical? And people don't want to learn this stuff. And most people have no conception of this stuff whatsoever. It's all just the Matrix for them. Right and wrong is just following the law or following religion or following the status quo of, I don't know, politics or social justice. Or, I mean, politics is on both sides. I see it more on the liberal side than the conservative side, but, you know, there is sort of this religion of politics, this cult of politics that people get into, you know, and that just becomes what they see as quote unquote ethics, and it's a very twisted form of ethics, you know. And then the science we get from the education system, it's purposely doctored and limited, you know, and it's not really exposing the full truth of what we can really do and what we're really capable of and what's really possible. There is also kind of a dogma to it with, you know, evolution, with the Big Bang Theory, with stuff like that. And look, I'm not a scientist. I'm not going to say that I know what's up with everything or whatever, but it becomes kind of like a religion and a culture, you know? and it becomes a matrix to trap people in. And if you look at like Da Vinci or Pythagoras or any of the good ancient scientists, they all believed in God, or were at least spiritual or something like that. I mean, I know Albert Einstein believed in God. I know Galileo believed in God. Newton believed in God. I mean, pretty much all these guys do, you know. So you got to wonder. I mean, Tesla, I think he believed in God. He was very kind of superstitious in his numerology and stuff like that. And, you know, when you really look at what science really is, it has a lot of connections. It has a lot of connections with spirituality. You know, it does. There is definitely a scientific, spiritual connection. You know, there is. And, you know, people don't want to see that. You know, the Matrix shrouds that and covers that up. And, you know, I think people would find a lot more purpose in their studies if, you know, if the things they were studying were not shrouded by the Matrix and covered up by the Matrix, and, you know, these things actually showed their true nature and, you know, showed what they were really about. But, you know, it doesn't. You know, knowledge is covered up and knowledge is blocked, and it puts people in this matrix, robotic, you know, weird kind of state, you know. It really does. And, you know, like, you have a life purpose, you know, you do. We all have a purpose and a mission and a goal and something that we need to do within our lives, you know, we all do. And, you know, society does not want us to find that, you know. Society wants us to be just devoid of purpose and just thoughtless, you know, like not questioning anything, like just accepting everything that's just being told to us. Just, if they're telling it to us, it's true. It must be true. And, you know, rather than questioning things and trying to think for ourselves. And our society is really trying to keep us off of our life purpose, because if we get on our life purpose, we're going to start to think, why are we doing all these wars? Why are all these soldiers killing each other? What's going on? You know, why are we doing this? You know, you're going to really start to question, why are people so greedy and crazy and nuts? What's going on? You know, and it's like, why are all these crazy religions happening? Like, God's there for all of us. Why do we need all these religions and all this stuff? And, you know, the thieves will be discovered, you know, once people start to get in touch with their true life purpose. The thieves who are stealing from us will be discovered, and society doesn't want that. You know, they want that money, they want that power, they want that control. They've had this for generations on top of generations on top of generations, and that grand deception of society needs to be broken. You know, society's deceptions need to be broken for us to move forward, for us to break our chains, and for us to, you know, find the purpose of our life and find what we should really be doing, you know, because there's something we have to give, you know. We have something to give to the world. We have something to put out there. We have a good purpose to do. We have something that will actually truly help people and will actually truly move the world forward. We have these things within us, but we don't use them. We don't access them, you know. And it really is a shame. It's like, we've got this stuff in us, you know, and I really, it's a hard process to get to our true life purpose. You know, it really is, you know, it's a tough process. We have to dig through a lot of stuff. We have to go through a lot of stuff. And, you know, our whole conception of things is completely upside down. I think a better example is, if you dug a big hole in the ground and you had someone live in that hole in the ground, and their whole life they've only lived in that hole in the ground, and they do not see the outside world, and you tell them about the outside world, they would be very skeptical and they might not believe it. You know, it's the same kind of thing. Like, there is a spiritual world out there. There is a realm of God out there. There is bigger things, way bigger things out there, you know, and people don't see it. People don't want to see it, you know? And, you know, you have to discover who you truly are, because it's like, it's like this. Like, the big thing is like the small thing. There's a reason why an atom looks like a galaxy, or not a galaxy, it looks like a solar system. You look at a solar system, there's a sun in the middle, and you got all these planets rotating around, An atom, you have a big nucleus cluster, so you have all these neutrons in a big cluster, kind of like the sun. And you have all these protons and electrons rotating around. It's the same kind of thing. When you can discover yourself, you can discover God and the entire universe. We are made in the image of God. So if you can actually discover yourself, you therefore can discover God, because he made us in his own image, and like, we're not told by society to do any self-discovery or any self-reflection or looking within ourselves or doing anything like that. Society doesn't tell us to do that. Society just tells us to, you follow along. You follow along exactly. That's what society tells us. That's what society wants. That's all society tells us, is just to follow along. So, everybody has a life purpose. Everybody has a life mission. Everybody has a life goal. You have a purpose. Nobody was just put here on this earth just to be here and just to exist. Nobody's here for that. We're all here to do something. God has a plan for all of us to do something. There is a good mission for you to do here on this earth. There's something you can do to really help other people out. And because of working a lot of these jobs and doing a lot of this stuff, it's not really helping others. You're just kind of helping some corporate overlord or something like that. You're not really helping other people out too much. You're just kind of there, grinding the gears, doing it, So there's things to do, there's good deeds to do out there, there is goodness to fulfill. And like, we're all unique too. Nobody's the same. Everybody's different. We all have unique talents. We all have unique things that we are good at. We really, really do. We all have these unique skills and these unique talents and these special things about us that make us special. And again, the Matrix and society tries to make us a number. And if you're a unique person, you don't fit the mold, they hate you. They hated me. And I can tell you, growing up, a lot of teachers, we don't know what to do with him. We don't know what's going on. We don't know this, whatever. They didn't like me because I didn't conform, And that's the truth. Like, they really want conformity. They want absolute conformity. They want you to be a number and to fit into a mold. And when you are a person, they don't like it. They don't like it because they have sacrificed their own personhood. And they sort of fit this exact 666 groove that the beast likes. And we don't, We really don't. And it's like we have these things within us that make us unique. We have unique talents. We have unique skills. We have special, unique things within ourselves, And they want to block us from those things, to make us to destroy our self-esteem, so we don't feel like we're even good at anything. We don't feel like we even have any talents. We don't feel like we can do stuff. But like, really, we have special, unique talents. We have special, unique things we can do. And there's big things we're all going to do, Big things, important things, life-changing things, world-changing things, things that are going to have a big, big effect in the aggregate, We all have these things within us. And it's up to us to get out of the Matrix, put society to the back burner, and look within ourselves and to dig deep within ourselves and to find these things. So, everybody has their true purpose within them. We're all unique, special people. We're all special human beings, and we have a unique purpose within ourselves. And, I'm telling all y'all, forget all the narcissists, forget society, forget the BS. Look within yourself and find your unique purpose, Because, the narcissists and all these negative, crazy, weird people all around you, they don't want you finding your purpose. They want to keep you down, They want to keep you down. They want to keep you stuck. They want to just keep you being another cog in the machine. But, You're built for something more than that. You have a bigger purpose in life than that, you know. And don't let anybody, any hater, shroud you from your true purpose. Your true purpose is there. It's there, and God has that for you. So I'm going to end it here, but thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.